I'm gonna fabricate a lie that I look exactly like Walter White.
Good. Alright, we're good. Hello and welcome back to the second episode of the Confidence of Ignorance podcast. I am your host, Bayleigh Robinson, and Harry, for the love of Christ, shut up.
I'm trying to get Jakob to shut up. But I couldn't help not posting that.
Right, I'm leaving that in.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Right. Hello and welcome back to the second episode of the Confidence of Ignorance podcast. I'm your host, Bayleigh Robinson, and this week we're introducing some new panel members. So, welcoming to the board, we have the lovely Dorian. Say hi.
Hello. How's it going?
We've got Harry.
No adjective needed.
Good job. And rejoining us, we have Jakob.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. So, today, as of today, it is the 15th of September. We're a bit late. We've missed a week. That was because it was Father's Day last week. So, we couldn't really record Father's Day. We love our fathers too much.
Bayleigh, did you get any lovely gifts from your kids?
No, surprisingly, no, I didn't.
How heartless of them.
Yeah, it really is. God, Gary.
Nothing for Father's Day. Another week in the dungeon.
Oh no. Anyway, so getting on with the news. Two gender reveal parties have elaborated into wild Californian bushfires that are raging across the entire west coast of America. In Victoria,
explaining themselves.
Yeah. Oh my god. In Victoria, lockdown is finally starting to ease us with Daniel Andrews releasing a roadmap that's spanning over the course of 4 months, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The Beirut port caught fire again earlier this week.
Is that a place in Australia, or am I?
Beirut, remember where the big explosion was, Harry?
Where the big explosion was, Harry.
Oh, you say it weird. You say Beirut.
Yeah,
like
Beirut.
B-A-Y.
Beirut. Beirut. That's how you say it. Beirut.
T. Beirut.
Beirut.
It's Beirut.
Pronunciation. Who cares?
Okay.
Again, sparking fears of another catastrophic explosion. The Hubble telescope has caught its Hubble.
Yikes!
What did I say? The Hubble.
You said humble.
The Hubble telescope has been in the news earlier this week of breaking. What was it again, Dorian?
The Hubble telescope has basically discovered a hole in our understanding of dark matter, which is super, super interesting, and I'm probably going to geek out about that later.
Yeah, later. And another thing in space, there could be life in the clouds of Venus. Could we have our own very cloud city? Wouldn't that be nice? Just touching in on sport. F1, I think it was 6 racers retired from the race after 2 catastrophic red flags, and for the first time in 20 years, 3 red flags in 2 races in 2 weeks. The Tour de France is halfway through. Very, very grueling, gruesome falls in the first stage, but more on that later. So, Californian bushfires. Can I just start off with that? It's not
You
only
sure can.
You sure can,
yeah. Not only did it happen once, but it happened twice, with the same result and the same it's I don't.
the same result. Was it 2 fires?
Yeah, there were two gender
Two-
reveal fires, but
two
there was a
gen-
really
yeah.
big one. That's the one everyone's talking about. Is the big one now.
Ruled out that this isn't a coordinated attack?
This is a coordinated attack.
Unborn babies are communicating with each other. They're trying to take over the world. No, but it's just okay. First of all, I don't understand the purpose of a gender reveal party or a sex reveal party.
No, me
Like,
neither. I mean, of
Me
course,
neither,
as
but-
someone who's non-binary, of course I don't understand. But like,
Yeah.
I had this thought, which was, and I've seen a couple people sharing similar sentiments online, but it's like, like in 16 years, just so the parents who started this massive fire, like they did their gender reveal, it went wrong, and started this massive fire across California. 16 years later or something like that, that kid's grown up, and you spent so long, it costs so much revealing this assigned gender for your kid, and they just go, "Mom, Dad, I'm trans."
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
It's like,
Oh
well,
no. No, but is that?
No, I don't get it either. But Kieran loves gender reveals. He loves going on. He loves
Huge
having.
fan.
Yeah.
massive. Yeah, no, I've
And I
heard.
saw this photo come out of America,
Oh my god.
and it apparently was from the crash site, I would say. But I'm not gonna say. I'm not okay. I'm not gonna get into specifics, but
What kind of like gender
someone who
reveal
looked
party?
a lot like. Yeah. Someone who looked a lot like Kieran and was pretty evil looking was at the party. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
High class intel right there, guys.
High class. Yeah. Keep an eye on that one. But is that just an American thing, having a gender reveal?
I think it's a stupid people thing.
Yeah.
So it is an American thing, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think it's really big in America just because there's that. I don't know. There's especially. I mean, you kind of see it with that like. There's this big idea of their this mythic past of America, which means they're very like tied to traditional values and views. So I guess like. And also extravagance.
Yeah, like, I understand having a baby shower.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
and
but
all
there's that
but
idea
having
of like.
I don't know.
It's that idea of like extravagance and like, yeah, it's like, are we gonna, oh God. Like you see those ones where it's like, I don't know, it's like bows or. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's like dolls or dirt or shit like that. I don't fucking know. Like, you get stuff like that, like dresses or cars, and you see these like massive things. Like it's a big thing over there because of this like traditionalism they have. I guess it's kind of wild.
But again, one thing's having a gender reveal party. The other thing is having it set off in like a full-on explosion, like one would be in the movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, like.
I mean, it's that. I guess that it's the bigger the better. Like I have seen a number of like gender reveal fails because they're really funny. They are really funny. I think one of my favorite ones is when they it was like a balloon that was meant to pop certain types of confetti and they just couldn't get it to pop. That one was really good.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one of them. The balloon actually flew away.
Yeah. Those ones are great. It's like, well,
well, we don't know.
it's a gender neutral child. But yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like. I mean, it's just such a weird thing. It's so odd. I just.
Yeah. How did it cause that fire in the first place?
I think it
Well,
was they were.
The house was probably out in like a woodlands area.
Yeah.
like
Or something like
if
that.
if you're in Washington or California, or
It was sort of a
the
grassland.
one below that, I can't remember.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's just how. Not only how
I think
I'm not going to
was.
question it. It's just it's stupid.
From what I
just-
heard, I
yeah.
could be wrong, but I think it was they had an explosive setup, like a minor explosive setup, so that it would shoot up like colored powder based on the thing, so you get a puff of like blue or pink, depending on whether it was like male or female.
okay.
So I think
Yeah.
that's what I've heard. I could be wrong, but it's just wild. It's just wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that started the fire, and because it's
So
it's
what?
their
Like
fire
something
season.
like 200,000 people have been evacuated, and the sky has turned red, like we've already seen here in Australia earlier this year and late last year. You know, it is kind of devastating. But not one because it was caused by natural disasters, but one because it was caused by
human
stupidity. Yeah. That's fuck. Thank you for that, Harry.
Incredible.
Excuse you.
Did they know who did it? Like which family?
I think
I
they
don't
have a
know.
suspect.
I'm just wondering.
You would assume they
Surely
would have been
you'd press-
charged. Yeah, you would press
Yeah.
charges or something for arson.
With like
Yeah.
arson. It's like the manslaughter equivalent of
Yeah,
arson.
I was just about to say that, but I
Which
don't
is
know.
like, oh, I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Yeah, it's you would expect to place charges, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of
human stupidity, being ignorant. Hey, speaking of ignorant, you're listening to the Confidence of Ignorance podcast.
subtle plug.
Subtle plug on our own TV, on our own podcast. Well done. Moving into more lighter news. Lockdown. Hallelujah. We've been allowed to go out for 2 hours at a
So
time.
generous.
How exciting. Oh, that's very generous. On
I don't think I've left my property in state New Texas for like a couple weeks actually.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't want to go out there. My conservative views won't let me.
And how do your conservative views stop you going outside?
Oh, they just make me so angry at the liberals.
Yeah, he'll get so triggered over the libs if he leaves the
I
house.
see someone wearing a mask and my varicose veins bulge up in my head. It's just they don't get it.
Yeah.
Things will kill you.
But just for a little bit of context, over the weekend, Daniel Andrews released a roadmap on how to get out of this so-called COVID normal. Or actually, it's how to get out of stage 4 and back into COVID normal. And it was staged in, I think, 3 or 4 steps. So we're currently in step 1, which is you're allowed out for 2 hours at a time. You can, can you meet up with 5 people?
Yeah,
outside?
that was. I think
Or am I-
yeah,
I think
you
it
can
was-
meet up
or
with
am I
5
dreaming
people,
something?
but I think
For
that was the thing
exercise.
about tomorrow night that I mentioned like a little before we started recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in I think tomorrow night you can meet up with 10 people outside.
Really?
10.
Yeah, something. Yeah, like just bang.
Fuck. No, you sure? Because I know.
it's
Because
making
I
me
know we
sick
moved.
just thinking about that many people in the one room.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's outside, so it's not in the one room. I mean, outside with social distancing and masks.
Yeah.
Right. So like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're still wearing masks outside.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about that one.
No,
Friggin'
but
masks.
I think
I
like
hate them.
I'm probably gonna keep wearing masks on occasion when I go outside after this.
You reckon?
Yeah, I definitely think people should still.
I mean,
Yeah.
like especially like for one, if I'm sick. For another, if I like, but also, they're kind of fashionable. Depending, you get a cool print. It's kind of fashionable.
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah,
saying that
I
because you don't
understand
like how the bottom half of your face looks.
Harry, you don't have to do this on the podcast, alright?
No,
Jeez.
but I don't like it because
Sorry.
you can't really smile with them. Like when you're walking down the street and you walk past someone, you just naturally smile at them. Or at
That's
least
just
I do
because you
anyway.
haven't worked out how to do a good fake
Natural-
smile, Bailey.
Hold on, you naturally smile at people?
Yeah, no.
When
Yeah,
you're
like
walking
when
down
you
the
like
road?
when you're walking past, you see like an elderly lady, and just say you just give that friendly little smile and.
God, you're such an old
I'm
man.
skeptical, Bailey.
I give him the classic evil Harry eye. Like it bulges out of my socket. And
Oh,
Spectacular.
wouldn't that be a sight to see? No, but like you can't really smile. people
No,
are
it's
look-
all in the eyes. You know, you just when
it just brings this melancholy motion about wearing a mask, and I don't know. I'm just like, I understand why it's important. I'm not gonna, tattoo on my forehead masks should be illegal, but
we don't have to
someone-
bail
I'm gonna-
you out next time you go to a rally, Bailey. It's all right. We won't have to bail you out again.
I'm glad to have your support. No, but like, I'm just really waiting for the day where we don't have to wear masks, like mandatory outside.
Yeah, no, me
Yeah.
too, absolutely.
Billy
Yeah.
has those exact words tattooed on his back. I've seen it. It's like a paragraph.
Yeah, but
He's
I'm
got-
excited
he's
for
got
this
really,
one. We
Sorry.
move into step 2 of the roadmap a few days just before my birthday, which means I can have the other half of the family over, which is good. And like my grandparents, I mean. Because with that step 2, you can organise a family bubble or a 2-household bubble. And I think that should be the word of this year, bubble. I think, just going off a bit of a tangent, because
you know what I think the word of the year should be?
what? Other than
Never.
COVID, or
No, I had a burp coming, but it
it didn't work.
Ah.
didn't follow through.
Yikes.
But like,
It would have been really funny.
you're seeing in sport and commentary and just about anything else that requires logistics, people are in this bubble, right? Like, do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
No, I know, I get you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So, like,
Please
the-
elaborate.
The AFL hubs, they're called hubs, but they're really a bubble, right? You got,
AFL bubble. I don't
you
think
got
that
like
flows off the tongue.
you've got like the team and all of their team, or the teammates, but they're like the surrounding logistics of the team, all in this
Yeah.
one bubble where they can't leave, right? They can't interact with people outside the bubble, and like when you just hear the word bubble, you think it's easy, soft, and like it's kind, it's childish. But when you're putting it as in like a COVID-19 bubble, it's very juxtaposition. It's very contrary to what you think of the word when you hear bubble.
I
Does
mean,
that
I
make
think,
sense?
yeah.
Billy, if you're not careful, you're gonna use up all your.
I'm gonna use up all. Yeah, I'm
Three-syllable
gonna
words.
I'm gonna
You're
use
gonna
up all my
your
bubbles.
words, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
All
like
of
sort
my
of
brain power.
bouncing off that. I mean, like, I think you're right. I mean, especially with bubbles, like, you sort of talk about like echo chambers and how insular that is, and I agree. I think bubble is a good word for this year because we've also seen. I mean, maybe it's just in the spaces that I frequent, but we've seen a massive rise in sort of like bigotry of all forms in the past couple months. It's quite concerning.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, like, again, for me, trans issues raise bells. You have like, J.K. Rowling coming out of her transphobe closet. But yeah. And like plenty of people, but it's just really, it's depressing. And you have like, I don't know, you see the sort of like the rise of QAnon and shit like that, and you see the rise of like very aggressive racism. But I think it's also been a year of breaking down those barriers and sort of calling that shit out, which is great.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean, it's good for the world, really. So, global news. Back to Beirut. God, when was it? It was a month ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like 20 months ago.
Yeah, it was only a month ago, but it
Yeah,
felt like
fact check,
almost
Harry.
last year. The explosion in Beirut, I think 190 fatalities and countless more injuries. A fire has ripped through that exact same site in the port, which it of course it will traumatise people, but after it was calmed down, or after it was taken under control, it was just oil and tyres. So thankfully it wasn't that fertilizer stuff that exploded. But
What?
In Beirut, the explosion.
Yeah, there was a fire,
Yeah,
but it was just tires and oils.
Tires and oils, but it was in the exact same
Burned.
port where Beirut exploded.
Like the same place where the explosion was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the exact same
Like
place, the exact same building.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know, if I was there, I'd have been running for my life.
Mm.
If I was there, I just wouldn't have let it happen.
How were you
different.
planning on stopping that fire?
You just built different, are you?
I really,
It's like a
I don't
candle, you
like
just
that
blew
joke.
really
I don't
hard.
think it's very funny, but like,
I'm just built
it's
different.
kind of funny.
I'm just
Oh.
different. Oh, God.
It's no. Rip to Beirut,
even
but I'm
built.
different.
Yeah, I just wouldn't let it happen.
God, I don't know
Just-
about that
Okay,
joke.
think
'cause
about
I'm
it
different.
happening, but just don't.
Well, if I was there, let me tell you.
No, we shouldn't be laughing about this. No, we
It's like
shouldn't
that.
be
It's
laughing
like
about
that one
casualties.
fucking. There was this actor who said, "It's like if I was on the plane in 9/11, I simply would have steered away
Mark
from the building."
Wahlberg.
Oh, who is that?
Oh, God, I hated
That
that.
was
Someone
someone.
said that. It was
I
so
think it's Mark
fucking
Wahlberg.
It
Yeah, they were
was.
like-
It was Mark
They were
Wahlberg.
like, if I was at 9/11, it wouldn't have happened. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
I'm
plain
just
and
different.
simple.
Oh, God. Oh, man. So, Dorian, I don't know much about this next topic, but I'm sure you do. Do you want to take it over to the Hubble, not the Humble, but the Hubble telescope?
Yeah, okay, so basically, the Hubble telescope, for those who don't know, is this really incredible thing. I'm just going to geek out about the Hubble telescope real quick.
Sure,
Because it's
go for your life.
basically,
Mhm.
the reason it's so significant is because it's basically a telescope that we've pushed out, so it's orbiting the Earth, so it's a telescope in space that beams photos back to Earth, which is really cool because now we don't have interference from our atmosphere and there's absolutely like no light pollution or anything, which is incredible for getting these really, really beautiful photos of space and galaxies from far away. Absolutely wonderful. But what the Hubble telescope has recently discovered is there was a photo that came back, right? Basically showing that dark matter might, like, so our understanding of dark matter in physics is very wrong, that we have a serious problem with our understanding of it. So basically, just a quick, like, physics crash course so that what I'm about to say makes sense. Basically, Einstein basically postulated that, so we have matter, which is like what stuff's made out of, like, you know, yourself, stuff is made out of matter.
Yep.
And then we have gravitational fields. So, you know, like you see, like stuff falls down on Earth, right? Because we have gravity pulling us to the center of the globe and all that stuff. And things orbit because of gravity. But we were trying to, there was a big thing about like how does gravity and matter interact? Why does this do this? Blah, blah, blah. But Einstein basically had this big breakthrough where he worked out that basically gravitational fields and matter are kind of the same thing. That's a very simple way of putting it, and it's kind of wild to wrap your head around. But that's sort of the gist, right? So, basically, when we view far off galaxies through a telescope, certain things, because of distance and because of the density of certain things, right? That sort of distorts the size of those galaxies. So they might appear smaller or bigger if we're viewing them from really far away. But our sort of way of working out how things fit together is dark matter, which is kind of like empty space, basically. Like, it's said to make up about 85% of our universe. But that could be wrong. That's the thing we've basically found out. It seems like, but based on this distortion we've seen, that the amount of dark matter in the universe could be quite a bit more. And that's just really wild to think about, like, but like we are on the advent of this great, like, massive discovery and revolution in physics and space research, and this is just, it's so cool, and I'm so stoked, and I'm like, I want to study physics, so I'm like so ready for this, because we also have here in Melbourne, we have SABRE, which is basically like this massive experiment into dark matter, and it's at Melbourne Uni, and I just,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's really cool, and I'm just so stoked for all of this. It's gonna be so cool, but like,
That's funny you didn't know that, Bailey.
Yeah, it is. 'Cause-
Seeing as you're made of dark matter.
oh,
Oh, you got me there. Been exposed right here, right now.
Yikes.
You've heard it here first, folks.
yeah, but it's just, it's
Yeah,
so
no,
cool.
it is really interesting too, because I'd just like to touch on the beginning of the Hubble telescope in what, the 1994, I think it was, 2005.
I
Can't remember.
So
It's relatively new. It
Yeah.
almost became NASA's most significant failure because the first picture came out
it got
It's
launched, by
blurry-
the way, in 1990.
1990. So yeah, it was close. Was the most blurriest picture ever taken, and like.
Is that official?
Yeah, no, it was. Oh, it wasn't.
The most blurriest.
The
Yeah,
most,
well,
That's
it was,
a category.
the
it was
most.
it was so shit that it wasn't even worth using.
The scientist like pulls down, he prints out the photo, and he's like, "Oh my god, what is it? What is it? The most blurriest photo."
That's the actual scientific discovery. It's
Yeah.
the most blurriest.
Turns out, and so what? After the many hundreds of millions trying to get that bloody piece of glass up in the atmosphere, they had to spend another few hundred million just
God
to
rest their souls.
no, they're
Lives
come
well
back
spent.
down, Harry. They're back on Earth, just to clean the mirror and reposition it. I think the official
way.
cause it was positioned wrong.
Yeah.
When it was first launched, and so they had people clean it and reposition it, which, quite thankful it's working, because before the dark matter study, they found, I know this from personal stories, well, not personal stories, but I've known this before, that they pointed the Hubble telescope at the darkest corner of the universe, and they found 100 odd galaxies
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
It's like
Personally
so.
knew this.
Sorry?
You just knew. You
Yeah,
knew there were that many galaxies hiding
Oh.
away in the darkest corner. You're like, yeah.
You didn't say
I've
anything.
been there. Don't worry.
But it's just so cool that like there's so much going on around us. Like
Yeah,
I know this depresses some people, but it's like we are so small. We are so insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But
we
like,
are absolutely tiny in the
but
grand scheme of
it's
things.
so cool. There's so much out there, because even though we're really small, we get to discover everything else. And like, it's just insane that that's like a thing we get to experience, and we'll probably be able to experience in our lifetimes. Like, just all of this space research. I mean,
Yeah.
like, that is if Elon Musk doesn't colonize space, but
Yeah, sends another car, sends an army of Tesla Model A's and S's
he's gonna send.
into space.
We're going. Do you remember when he actually sent a satellite, like a string of satellites up, and that there were these streaks just ruining the night sky, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?" It's like, no, Elon Musk just decided to spend some money
yeah,
again.
you got duped on.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
it's like he's just gonna. I think his final plan is he's just going to send up enough Teslas to completely wrap up the Earth in just cars. That's the end. That's the end goal for
We'll
Tesla.
harness
Guys.
our sunlight by the high powered
He's gonna make a fucking Dyson sphere out of Teslas.
Yeah.
yeah.
Welcome to Dome World,
just-
boys.
Yeah, but just quickly going back to how tiny we are in the grand scheme of things, for anybody still listening, because I know you aren't.
Bailey, I'm
but
bigger than you.
if you thanks Harry, if you are listening, there's a very cool or very interesting YouTube video out there by Melody Sheep. It's called The Time Lapse of the Future: A Journey to the End of Time, and it goes trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years into the future
We'll put this video in
of
the
the
link
universe.
below.
Yeah, I'll put it in the link below. I'll have it in a card come up right about
But don't
now.
click the second link. Don't click that second link.
Shut up, Harry. Why? Where does it take us?
First one. Well, I
Click the link to
told
find
you
out.
You'd click it.
Okay. Yeah, no, but it really is an interesting video. Brian Cox, along with a number of other astrologists and scientists, narrate it. And it's
Astronomers. Astrologists
Right.
are the people who do star signs and stuff.
not astrologists. I want to burn them. Astronomers.
Oh,
And other scientists and other smart people.
I want to burn all those smart people.
No, I want to burn all the astrologists.
All the smart people gone.
Just all of, no. Just
We'll be safe at least.
keep the smart people. Leave the astrologists.
Kill all smart people. Return to farming life.
Yeah, no, but it really is an interesting video. I've seen it. It's awe-inspiring, and it just, at the end, makes you feel a little bit depressed of just in the realization of how small we are and very insignificant we are. But it's worth the watch.
Yeah.
There we
Now,
go.
life on Venus. What's
Life on
happening with
Venus.
that? Life on Venus. What's going on?
not a fan. Not a
What's
fan.
going on
Some,
here?
like,
Not,
they
not a
found some
fan.
like
I mean,
they found some like marsh walkers.
Venus is pretty hot. You know?
When Mars attacks, they figured out it wasn't Mars. That they came from Venus instead. You
Huh?
know,
What?
the movie when
I
Mars
don't
attacks.
get that joke. I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, but watch
Huh?
watch the movie. That's what the second link's going to be.
We'll link the movie in the
Yeah, you
description
can't do
below.
that. That's not the second link. He's lying.
It's the
I'm
second
not
one,
gonna link
guys.
that movie because that would be pirating.
Anyway, no, but they found moisture in the
They
clouds of Venus,
found
which
they
could
found
lead to
phosphine.
life.
They found
Oh, they-
phosphine. So
Aren't they
phosphine is it's basically they found this little molecule. It's sort of like phosphine is sort of like it's microbes that kind of don't need oxygen or are like made by industrial processes or stuff like that. So basically, the fact that phosphine it basically sucks up air on Venus, but the fact that phosphine has been created here sort of implies that there could be other microbes living in the swirling gas cloud of Venus. So it wouldn't be intelligent life on Venus, but there might be
Yeah.
life, which is, again, like I said before, it's so much space discovery. It's so cool. I am so excited.
Yeah, and again with that, and finding ice on Mars as well, which could lead to actually living organisms. Small little critters the size of a rice grain, smaller than that. But it's life is still life, and it's very.
Yeah.
It'll
and
be
you
very.
need to get one.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Up top.
Hell yeah.
That's it. We're ending this podcast. I've had a
done.
midlife crisis. No, but
Billy, you're only 42.
oh yeah, I'm only. That's midlife, isn't it?
No. What, you planning to live to 80?
84.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna live to like 40, and then they're gonna inject me with lobster DNA, and then I'm gonna live to like 1,000, but grow exponentially.
You're going to complete
You're
the
gonna
Jordan
become-
Peterson
I'm
life
not
chain.
living past 1,000 because I don't want to start evolving and become the head of Bo. Fuck that.
The head of what?
You know.
Anyway, but it is just
What? Am I seriously the only one who's seen Doctor Who?
yeah.
Yeah, I think you are.
Really?
I used
thought
to watch
Dorian
it.
had.
I've
I
seen
used to
parts of
watch
it.
it. I
I've- I
watched
haven't-
it.
Didn't know you let
I
losers
turned
on
off
this
when
podcast.
David Tennant died.
That's
Okay,
fair.
you know the part with Captain Jack?
Mm.
Like, that smarmy guy with
Yeah, I know who
when it
Captain
was
Jack is.
Rose and Tennant. Well, he lives.
Isn't that
he's
the
an
guy-
immortal, and he lives for so long that he turns into like this big. I'm explaining the joke.
That makes
So
it
it's not
funny.
He
funny
lives
anymore.
for so long that he starts evolving, and he turns into like some fucking head in a jar.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, because he's the main guy in Firefly, right? Yeah. There's a separate
my head's-
offshoot show that
Yeah.
he's in.
I
Anyway,
could have sworn you'd seen it.
I've seen parts of it. I haven't
I
seen
must
all
be
of it.
thinking of someone else.
You probably are.
I know Kieran watches it.
Probably,
I-
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Kieran.
It's probably Kieran. I know Brandon has watched all of it. I know that for a
Yeah,
fact.
Brandon's
No.
no longer with us.
God, Harry.
Jeez.
No, but I stopped watching it after David Tennant stopped playing Doctor
What's
Who.
that?
Huh? I don't know. I
What's
just
that?
I couldn't find the new guy.
Didn't like Matt Smith.
He's
Yeah.
right in the middle of the screen.
Where did you leave him
I don't know what
last?
you're talking
I
about.
don't know. I mean, I know.
Put on your reading glasses.
I've realized now that I just really don't like Stephen Moffat as a writer, because he was
Stephen
the
Moffat. Oh, yeah, yeah.
showrunner. He was the showrunner for basically Matt Smith onwards.
I really like Matt Smith. Matt Smith was fun.
I don't know. I
He's got a
mean,
weird head.
the thing that I found really interesting about Doctor Who before, because I did watch it a lot when I was little, but it was really cool because it was just like, oh, here's this guy, he's just kind of a passive observer of the universe, and he's just going and bouncing from place to place. And then Stephen Moffat came on, and it became all about the Doctor. You know what I mean? I think
kinda
literally the first episode with Matt Smith, he defeats the bad guy by saying, "I'm the Doctor. What the fuck are you gonna do, bro?" Like that. I think that's literally how he
that is
beats him.
that is exactly how it went down.
Wow.
Like
yeah.
the monster scanned his brain, like scan my brain and see who I am. And he goes, "Oh, you defeated all this and you defeated all that." And then they're like, "Oh, bye."
Yeah. Exactly
it.
that.
That was a whole first bit. I stopped watching like midway through Peter Capaldi because I just stopped enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I still
every single scene. Okay, I like the part with the android. You know, like the bald, funny man from Britain
Yeah.
who plays the android. But like, just whenever Peter Capaldi would go into his little man purse, he'd pull out coins and start eating them. It's just, I don't like the sound of metal and teeth. Ah, my head. Ah. Ow.
You're
Don't
right.
do that ever
Okay,
again.
sorry.
It's because you were chewing on those coins.
No,
That's why I stopped
I
watching.
wasn't chewing on anything.
Yeah, tell my head.
No. Is Matt Smith only 37?
Matt Smith's dead.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he died 37 years ago.
Oh, God, Harry. No, I thought he was a lot older than 37.
37.
Yeah, I thought he was like in his
Matt
late...
Smith?
Matt Smith.
40s,
Matt
yeah.
Smith's
Looks
a
like
young guy.
Matt
He's a
Smith
young
looks
dude.
like 30, yeah. He looks young.
Yeah? Hmm.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like 40, no.
No. Yeah.
He doesn't have like 40-year-old hair. He's got...
No, but he's one of those English people that never age.
Yeah, like Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Mm.
like King Philip. He looks pretty young.
Right, King Philip
King
looks
Philip
like
has
he's a
one
toe
foot in
stub
the
away from
grave.
death. He looks like he's one toe stub away from death.
Show some respect,
King
Bailey.
Philip looks like
He
he's
might be
halfway
listening
I
to
have
this
no
podcast.
respect. Down with the monarchy. I'm an anti-monarchist. Let's go. Why haven't we
I'm-
become a republic yet? I have no idea.
I'm not a anti-monarch. I'm pro-Australian, but sure. I'm with you on the Republican.
Bailey, we share pretty similar views on politics, don't we?
Do we? I
Yeah,
don't know.
we
You keep bringing up
You and your
conservative views.
conservative
I don't like the word
views.
conservative views.
My conservative views,
they're
they're
just
good. They're
they're
good. I like
good,
them.
right? They're Harry views, are they?
They're Harry
They're
views.
Harry
Yeah, they
views,
go they
yeah.
go toe and toe.
You don't. Right.
I think personally it's my business whether or not two people get married.
Just
Personally,
your personal
that's-
business.
I have to be involved.
You have to be involved.
You have to be.
Yeah.
It's like a
That's my-
three-way wedding. You have to be the third person in this scenario.
You're
Is that
a
it?
union.
Yeah, they
you're
can
a
throw the whole
sacrificial
thing.
union.
They can like pay for all the bills, pay for the cake, pay for the little statues and up at the cake. I'll show up and go like, nah, me no likey, and they'll cancel the whole thing for me.
Yeah, I think that's the way it works. I think that's why
I see.
we had to have that whole referendum thing. Yeah, because
It wasn't
otherwise
to do
Harry would personally show up and disrupt the
Harry-
wedding.
I would change everything with my conservative
God,
views.
that was 2 years ago. That was more than 2 years ago, wasn't it? That
Yeah,
referendum.
that was
God.
when I was year 10. Yeah, we were year
Shit,
10.
yeah.
I have a very distinct memory. Remember when that guy flew over and he wrote "no" in the sky? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Bondi Beach or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he did. It was above our school. I remember seeing it like at lunch. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yes!
What are you talking
I
about?
do remember that. Oh my god.
Yeah. That was like
I
that
totally
was.
forgot about that.
Ooh, yeah. But it
Oh my
was
God.
at our school. Yeah.
So anyway, for context, a man hired one of those aeroplanes with the fog machine on the
Skyriders.
tail end of it. Yeah, that writes letters in the clouds, right? And he wrote what? Vote no or something.
No, he just wrote
You
no.
mean-
He
yeah,
just wrote
yeah,
no,
he just-
but with
yeah.
context.
He just wrote no, but it was at the time where
Yeah.
the
It was
gay marriage
very
referendum.
obvious about what he was talking about.
It wasn't referendum, but it was
Very
an opinion
clear.
poll.
Yeah,
It was
basically.
very clear what he was on about. God, I totally
And
forgot about
I
that.
should know, we're at like a safe school, which means basically we're at a school where it's like, yeah, we accept gay kids and you get in trouble if you're homophobic. I mean, you don't actually get in trouble if you're homophobic. Our school doesn't actually do anything. But, but, they're like, we're better than others. So that was just a bit like, ooh, I haven't felt this unsafe in a while.
My favorite thing that came out of the that came out of that whole era was the ads.
Oh my god, the ads were
Oh,
great.
yeah.
The ads were just so
The ads, but
they were so biased.
Yeah, they were so ridiculous.
It's like they couldn't come up like you can't.
yeah,
The thing with saying no to same sex marriage is there's only really one reason why you'd want to say no, and that's probably because you're homophobic,
yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
pretty much.
like me and my conservative views.
Like you
Shut
and your
up, Harry.
conservative
Oh, Harry 2020.
Harry 2020.
Harry 2020. What country are you running for?
Huh? This one.
This
It's
one.
a bit late to
You know,
start
we're not-
coming
Yeah,
in.
Ask me about my
Texas.
thoughts on immigration, Bailey. Ask me.
No, we're not having an election this year.
You'll have to censor it.
No. Remember, he lives in Texas, Bailey. Weren't you listening
Oh, he
earlier?
lives in Texas. Yes, of
I
course.
live in Texas,
Yes,
Australia.
Texas, Australia.
Texas, Australia. Right. I'm pretty sure there's a Texas in Australia.
Who knows?
Yeah, I know.
In a-
I live there.
In a little RV on the side of the road.
Huh?
That's where you live.
Yeah, I got a big Trump 2020 that I scribbled the Trump out of and put Harry 2020 on the side of my RV.
Oh, so,
But you haven't
And every
changed the
morning-
"Make America Great Again." It's still you haven't changed it. It's not "Make Australia Great Again." That's
what's
the
his
same.
motto?
It's-
What's his motto? It's keep
make-
America great, isn't it? This year.
It's "Make America Great Again."
No, for this
No,
year, isn't it? Keep
They
America
started
great?
that, but it didn't stick, so they just went back to "Make America Great Again."
Why
Huh.
didn't it stick? I wonder.
Yeah, but what? Because the first 4 years didn't do jack shit.
He's
No.
I mean, like, it's just
Every
very
morning.
fashy. It's very fascisty, you know.
Yeah.
No.
Every morning I exit my RV and I recreate scene for scene Shrek going to the toilet with my underwear.
Okay, good for you.
What, just like the opening scene.
Yeah.
From
The
Shrek.
entire do you have All Star playing in the background as well?
No, don't be ridiculous.
Oh, no.
What would you have
He's
playing in the
not-
background?
Huh?
What would you have playing in the background during your reenactments?
What do you mean? When you wake up, do you have something playing?
Yeah,
No.
I've got a
Yeah, it's
soundtrack.
called My
I
Alarm.
This
listen
is
to
just
music in the
normal life
morning.
for me. Me and my conservative views.
That's all you listen to? You just listen to your conservative views.
I listen to me talking about my thoughts on immigrations and
Just gotta remind yourself.
other countries. Yeah, remind
Yeah,
me
in
who I
case he
am.
forgets.
It's like a self brainwash.
It's a self-brainwash. Isn't that schizophrenia? That's very
Yeah,
close
no,
to
it's
schizophrenia. Are you okay,
very-
Harry? Do you need to
No,
see a
it ru-
doctor? Do you need to see somebody?
Does schizophrenia run in the family? Because if so, I might not.
I
I
don't
think
know.
It's somewhat slightly. It's not like a guarantee, but it can be somewhat like slightly hereditary. Like you're more likely, like you have a disposition for it, but not like
you're at.
I'm gonna have 12 sons, 12 daughters. I'm gonna luck out on one of them.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
At least that's what God's telling me to do.
Oh right.
Oh right, yeah.
God's plan.
Oh,
Just
You
trust the
whispers in
plan,
my
guys.
ear.
Oh god.
yeah. So in sports news, the Tour de France is we are up to stage 15 today, or it'll soon be stage 16 in a few hours.
How many stages are there?
There's 22 stages, and
Holy
it
shit.
goes over 3,467 kilometers.
Damn.
Is that just a fancy word for saying like part of the race?
Yes.
Like a section of the race?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
pretty much.
exactly what it is.
So it's hard to explain, but the shortest amount of time overall is called wears the what's called the maillot jaune, which is in English the yellow jersey.
Do they stop to sleep?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
that's the
They
thing. That's
stop
why
to
there are like
sleep.
stages.
I know they don't stop to poop. They like poop out of tubes and going down the side of their leg and leave it.
No,
on the
they
road.
don't.
Yes, they do. Have you seen that?
They have nature breaks. They stop, they get off their bike, and they get back
Yeah.
on.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
If you watch the Tour de France really closely,
If you're
There's
really
a
close.
car coming, like following behind you, with a bunch of tubes leading in.
Oh no!
like a baseball glove ready to catch.
Yeah.
The worst thing.
That is
Anyway,
horrible. I hate that I came up with that.
That's on you.
God. Surprisingly, there's only 2 Slovenians in this race, and they are both of them. Are at the
Try for 0.
no, both
No!
of them are at the top.
Let my homeland have some rights, alright?
No, that's horrible.
Try for zero. Just eradicate the war. No, but both of them,
People in the audience is like, is he joking? Does he
I-
have
we are-
conservative views?
We
I
are
added the
joking.
third link.
we are all joking in
Yeah.
light.
The third link is my election.
I'm not
campaign.
joking though, I am Slovenian.
Yes, no, but both of them are the top 2 contenders with Primoz Roglic
Hell yeah.
holding the maillot jaune at 65 hours, 37 minutes and 7 seconds. After him, we got Tadej Pogačar at
You
60.
just making these up?
No, these are real people.
No, these are real names. If you want to find weird
'Cause
names,
I
just
could've
search for
sworn you said,
like Tour de
titty.
France competitors.
Tadej, I think his name
Tatters!
is Tadej Pogačar.
This is
These are very
racist.
hard. These
This
are
is horribly racist.
very hard names to pronounce.
Quite conservative, Bailey.
What the-
Quite conservative, I must say.
Yeah, but the Australian Richie Port is 6th overall at 65 hours 39 minutes, which is currently trailing behind by 2 minutes and
Nice.
13 seconds. The points classification has been a real upset for the usual winner. Peter Sagan has won it the last 7 times. And so people naturally expect him to win. But currently, the Irishman, Sam Bennett, from Deceuninck Quickstep, is leading this race for the general points classification with 269 points, with Peter Sagan in second with 224 points. So quite a comfortable lead held out by Bennett. In third, we have Matteo Trentin. Fourth, we've got the Frenchman Brian Cochard, I think his name is. And in fifth, we have the Australian Caleb Ewan with 158 points. He hasn't won any sprints for the points overall, but he has won a few stages, which is good for him, good for the team, good for the points classification as well. For the polka dot jersey, for the best mountain climber, we have the Frenchman Benoit Cosnefroy at 36 points. Trailing close behind, only 2 points, we have Pogačar as well, with 34 points. After that, we have the leader of the race, Primoz Roglic, at 33 points. So it's still quite a close battle. And then we have 3 people on
Bailey, how long does this list go on for?
it. We've got one more.
You're making my mind go numb.
Can you
Yeah,
hold
we've
out
just
for
all been
one
like
more?
dead silent.
Melting in the back of my head.
Okay, I'll stop.
No. If you got one more,
Yeah, I've got one more.
Sure yeah.
The youth category, which is similar to the general classification, but it's for under 23.
One more name or one more?
You know, he's
section?
really
One
dragging
more
this in
section.
one name.
Under
What?
20,
Whoa,
under 23
no, not one more
year
second.
olds.
We thought you said one more name.
You really,
Jesus
you
Christ.
really want to fit it all in. You're like,
Again, we got Pogacar leading, Enric Mas, and then Egan Bernal, which is last year's winner of the Maillot Jaune.
There you go.
Yeah, trailing close behind, only 7 minutes after he got dropped. As a Colombian, being dropped on the mountain stages is quite surprising.
Mm.
what does that have to do with anything?
Okay.
Well, no,
We
because okay, so in the sport of cycling,
Yeah.
Colombians
The Colombians are known for their
because
great cycling.
Colombians are natural-born climbers because they're living in the mountains.
This
They're
sounds a little
They're
eugenics.
born on the
Sorry.
side of They're born on the side of cliffs. Like they're like mountain people.
No, but I mean,
It's
like
like
they're
sponge
they're used to the very high altitudes. They're used to riding up and down, 17% gradients,
Naturally.
which
Yes.
is very, very steep. While someone from Australia like Caleb Ewan or like Richie Port, who is the general classification contender, is very hard because Australia has got some hills, but they've only got 4 off the top of my head, like 4 proper ones,
Go on, then.
compared to France. In
Mm.
France, you've got the entire
What are the
Pyrenees.
4 hills?
Oh, the 4 main ones. Oh, you got Thredbo. I'm listing all the skiing ones. You got Thredbo, Perisher, Hotham, and Falls Creek, and Buller. That's 5. But you've got the
Map.
entire Blue Mountain.
France is actually a flat plain. Like you load up into Gary's mod and that's all you see.
It's just
France.
Minecraft flatlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the Eiffel Tower
France is
from
an
anywhere
issue.
in France just because it's so flat.
No.
Little known
No.
fact.
You step out of Spain into France and you see the Eiffel Tower immediately. Is that right? Did I actually get that right? I was trying to get that wrong.
No, you got that right.
Really?
Yeah, Spain,
Oh
France.
my god.
Yeah, no, you're right. Congratulations.
I was going to say
Harry.
Belgium.
Yeah, you still would have been right.
What? How many? What?
Belgium's connected to France, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god. I got
Because
like
the
Google up a
Germans tried
map
to
of
invade from there during World War.
Yeah.
France map.
France map.
No,
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
yeah, but we've got the Blue Mountain, the snowy mountains, the Blue Ranges, but it's absolutely nothing compared to the Pyrenees in France. So that's why Colombians have a natural-born advantage, or anybody training in Colombia, I should say.
Mm. Yes, you should.
Yes, I should. Thank you.
Billy has one too many eyes.
What does that mean?
What,
Elaborate.
in my
What do you
name
think about
or
it?
on my head?
On your head.
My head. Where's my third one?
No one said anything about third one.
He
We
didn't
said
say
one
you
too
had a
many.
third one.
Click the 4th link to find out where Bailey's third is.
Shut up.
You keeping track of all these links,
Oh.
Bailey?
Yeah, Bailey, you gotta go all the way back and like, oh, what's this link? What's that?
I'm gonna
Oh
have
god,
to,
I forgot the third
So
link.
in
Better
other
take down the
news,
video.
Bailey Robinson was last seen yesterday night. This is a pre-recording. We've been matching up with all his dialogue, and we're out. We have none left.
Yeah.
Any
We're
advice
out of
is
dialogue.
greatly appreciated.
has anybody got any?
Except for that last bit.
Yeah.
Except
For the last
just
bit,
then.
we're sorry
Has
to break
anybody
the
got
news
any
to you. Oh.
any other things they want to discuss? What's been what's been
you
happening
see
at
any-
school? You've got exams coming up, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
How are they going for you all?
I haven't done a single piece of work, like pretty much, for this entire term.
That's
well,
impressive.
Definitely no, I haven't. I've done.
Yeah, well, you're not
hardly
in
anything.
VC, are you?
Is this a confession,
Yeah.
Bailey?
Doesn't mean we don't do work, Dorian.
You literally just admitted to not doing work.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Bayleigh, you're trying not to stereotype, but you are the stereotype.
You really are. Apart from the fact that you type on a typewriter, that's the one
Bayleigh,
mold
sweet
you break.
pumpkin-headed boy.
what's so wrong about learning
we
how to
love
typewriter?
ya.
No, there's nothing
love
wrong with it. It's just weird. It's like
What do you mean
different.
it's weird?
It's different.
Oh, it's different because, we all have computers and
What do you
No,
mean?
you're just
What
too
do you
good
mean,
for a
how is it
computer.
not weird? It is literally like a 16th century invention, and you're using it in the year 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, they
It
only
is,
stopped writing,
it
like,
is
using
actively
typewriters
more
recently.
difficult to write with a typewriter than it is to write or type on a keyboard.
No, I beg to disagree with that.
I mean,
You've got to fucking...
Well, no, because you get a lot more customization out of a typewriter than you do.
What do you
like a
mean? You
program
can't
with-
backspace.
I can just change the fonts on a Google Docs and it takes me 2 seconds.
I'm
Yeah,
speaking.
you
What do
look like a
you do when
typewriter.
you misspell a word on a typewriter?
You put whiteout over it and type
You
over
bring
it.
out the whiteout. You're gonna have this own special thing that's not
Instead
a part
of
of the
pressing like
typewriter.
a
and then
backspace
just
button.
flick it over. And then you gotta wait for that to dry, and then you gotta go back, and then you gotta type out your word. And if you type it out again wrong, you're fucked.
Hey, I can draw on this typewriter. It's got a
Really?
drawing function. You just
Really?
lock
Does
your
that
pen in
spell
there.
check?
Surprisingly, it does.
Does it still have the fingers of the person who made it inside the mechanism?
No, I don't know. I haven't actually looked carefully
Maybe you
inside
should
You're
there.
too
check.
scared.
You do, yeah,
It's either that or cursed by an ancient Egypt pharaoh.
You never know, Bailey. Maybe you
Yeah.
should check.
yeah.
Me, myself, I have 20 curses.
It's quite interesting. This brand for the typewriter, it's actually a
Yeah.
gun brand, Remington.
Yeah.
Oh,
First
Remington.
the
like
space
Yeah.
gun just shoot you in
shotgun.
the head.
Yeah, like the Remington
Interesting.
shotgun. So I think if you unlatch a few latches on the typewriter barrel,
Make the same joke.
if
Make the
if
same
you
joke
press
as
the
Yaga.
trigger,
Do it.
it pulls out a little bullet, and if
Do it.
you're not careful, you shoot off your hand.
Yes!
Yeah, exams are coming up. This is the last week of term 3. Then we have 2 weeks holidays, and then
Bayleigh,
we've only got 4 weeks
Remi-
of school after that.
Yeah. It's
Bayleigh,
wild.
The Remington company is 204 years old.
Yeah, so what?
It's almost as old as you.
Was that me or Bayleigh?
No, Bailey.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can tell you this Remington Superwriter. That's the model. It's called.
How old is it?
It was made in 1954, I think. 53, 54.
1954.
What's the math
Yeah.
on that, Bailey?
That's
How
older
old
than
is
your
that?
dad.
Yeah, it is
Wow.
older than my dad. That's
How
now
do you
that
find it?
it's fine. It's easy. It's quick, easy.
I see.
It's nice and smooth on your
that's
fingers.
nice to hear.
Good to know.
Just admit you're a hipster.
I'm not a fucking hipster. I'm not a hipster. I don't go around drinking, soy skim broccolini chai lattes.
Chai lattes are good. All right.
No, but
Steady on there.
the broccoli chai lattes or whatever
That's-
they're called.
Okay.
Like, how you get coffees made from broccoli instead of coffee?
No, I have no idea what you're
Nobody
talking
knows
about.
what you're talking about.
There's a real thing. They swap they swap the coffee beans for broccoli.
Well, I
It's
haven't tried it, so I don't know what to say about it.
broccoli
Doesn't
coffee.
sound
I'm
good.
looking that up.
Broccoli coffee. Where did you hear about this? Did you?
It was on the
find it
news.
down a back alleyway?
No, it was on the news last year, I think.
I see.
The news trying to
On the
be hip with everything. Broccoli coffee. Ooh.
They reported on that because it was probably a slow news day, and that was like that's a wacky thing to put in coffee.
Yeah. No, it's not
Either
even
that or
coffee.
the-
It's
or the
not even
broccoli.
coffee.
It's
It's
just
straight
broccoli.
up replacing coffee. They're like
It's so bad.
grinding up broccoli, steaming it, and then putting it in
Oh.
water, and it's like a thick green slop that you
That
get
doesn't sound
served
nice.
in this cup.
It really doesn't
That
sound
doesn't
nice.
It doesn't sound nice, and I bet it doesn't even taste nice.
I mean, how
People
could
who
it?
drink it are probably just trying to be healthy.
Yeah, but I know enough people who try to be
Cost.
healthy, so it clearly has.
I'm
a
being
demographic.
healthy in a different way.
How's
So,
that?
I'm right. Well, I was riding my bike. I was going to the gym, but I was still eating, pig fat as well. So
Pig fat, yeah.
like bacon. That's what I mean by pig fat.
Ah.
Yeah. So we've got 4 weeks of school after this term break. How are you all feeling? It's a little scary that we're going to be free souls after this
I'm
graduation.
I'm technically an adult. How does that make you feel? Jakob's technically an adult.
I'm
Yeah.
technically an adult in
But are you
a month and
one
2
right
weeks'
now?
time.
Ugh, I'm talking to a minor.
Get away from me. Well, I want my mummy.
Nah, get me out.
Oh no, Harry, stop.
It's not okay.
No, I think it's gonna be a shit show. I mean, it already is.
Yeah.
I can't believe we have exams. There's a
Yeah.
pandemic on, and the fucking
Like,
government's
nope.
more concerned about exams.
Too bad. You're still doing exams. You still gotta
what's-
sit in a
what's
room
the
for 3.5
alternative?
hours.
I mean, the alternative is instead
You
of
get a
doing
C
like
average.
instead of doing collective exams and getting like an ATAR and a VCU result, you can do, Victorian universities would hold their own entrance exams. Like they basically
Ooh.
like they do I think they do it like that in Queensland. I could be wrong.
They do that in Japan.
Yeah,
as
because
well.
in Queensland they still have the HSC,
Yeah.
which was faded out, 20 odd years ago here.
Yeah, something like that. But no, so that was suggested, and also having an interview-based process for some courses.
Yeah, well, some courses already do that anyway.
Some courses already do that, but like especially at like big prestigious schools, you're not going to have an interview. It's all going to be based on your stats. So if you want to get
Yeah.
into like Melbourne Uni,
I mean,
all
I can
based on
interview
numbers.
for a very fancy-looking school. So,
Oh yeah, haven't you already done that?
no, it's on the 19th.
The 19th.
The 19th. Oh. Are you going to travel
We-
up there, or are you going to...
No, we
No, I'm not going to go to Sydney during these troubling times.
Bailey, I'm an alt-right conservative, and even I know better.
My God, Harry, shut up with your conservative views.
Oh,
my God.
you
I'm
say
gonna
that,
exercise my
but
free right.
at least he's joking, Bailey.
At least you're
At
joking.
least I'm joking, and you're not, Bailey.
It's coming later
But
on.
valedictory's been cancelled. So
Yeah, I mean
hasn't
until
been-
next year,
been
until
quite-
either late December or
Yeah,
January.
quote unquote postponed
Mm.
until what, mid to late January, which I hope we can
Valedictory.
all get together,
Is that the thing where we like
have drinks with the teachers. Yeah,
Is Vico invited to those things?
ugh, I don't
I
like
s-
the
Yeah.
teachers.
they do a VCAL
I
award
still
at the
won't even be
valedictory.
able to have a
What's the Vico
drink.
award for?
I'll still
What do
be
you have to do to
17.
win it?
I don't know.
Participation.
Hey, come on.
You get a big shiny medal that's made out of chocolate.
You get one of those chocolate gold coins.
He looks down at it like a hamster. Look back up the teacher. Is it really mine?
I thought you were going to say
Sure
it's
is,
like
buddy.
really real. Didn't even realize it's chocolate.
No, but when you did like athletics in primary school, and like the other kids who came first, second, and third would get like the actual like the plastic medals. You know those really shitty plastic medals.
Yeah.
But then you just get a ribbon. I think that the
Yeah.
VCAL kids just all get ribbons.
This is just straight up bullying.
Yeah, it
At
is
this point.
absolutely.
Oh my God.
Because we hate you, Billy. Fucking hate you.
Oh, thanks, Harry.
Wait, am I allowed to swear?
Sure. I mean,
We've been
we swore
swearing
in
the
the
whole
last
thing.
episode.
It's not going to change anything.
Yeah, it's not going to change.
What about slurs?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
I have deep embedded conservative views that I need to
Shut
express.
up. I know you're
I
joking.
can't
but this
express
needs
them
to
without the words, Bailey. I can't do it.
How about you write them on a piece of paper,
Just bleep them
email
out,
that piece
Billy.
of paper to me.
Email the piece of paper.
Yeah, wait, just like pause for a second here and then put in a bunch of like beeps while I'm talking to make it look like I'm saying it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh God.
Just like when I'm just go through the entire podcast, and whenever I say something like about a certain type of person, I just bleep it out so it looks like I said something much worse.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it for all. What's the time? Timestamps at 1 hour 3 minutes. So, if you've gotten to this far, I hope you've enjoyed listening to this as much as we have been making it. Especially with
what was your favorite section?
Yeah, comment your
down below.
section.
Mine was the Hubble telescope.
As someone who went
That's good to hear.
a bicycle, I gotta say I love the Tour de France.
That was a great section, Jakob.
I have to agree with that one. That was utterly stellar work from Bayleigh.
So many names I don't.
It was
even
wonderful.
Anyway, I hope you can all join us next week, hopefully, when we release another episode, the next episode, with a new panel. Completely new, I think. Maybe. Completely fresh or somewhat fresh panel.
Let me just give me a quick squiz.
But anyway, like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz. We are now on SoundCloud, so you don't have to keep YouTube open all the time, which I know drains on every single cell phone's battery.
Yeah, whenever I turn on YouTube, it actually drains the blood from my head. Goes straight to my legs.
Straight to the legs. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
Anyway.
personally, when I start using YouTube, it just comes out of my eyes.
And
Yeah.
goodbye.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank you for listening. Next week's a new week. We've got a new episode coming out next week. But yeah, like, subscribe, all that jazz. We're now on SoundCloud. So it's goodbye from me, goodbye, and it's goodbye from the rest of the panel.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Goodbye!